So I thought the old man could be president in 2017 and run for this. And he himself said, he said, when you run for one term, he himself said it. I agree with him. 2023, no, I disagree. In my mind, he should rest.
I would not know if it's wrong, but one thing that I was not able to accomplish that I wanted to accomplish was after the war, the Liberians people elected me. In fact, the Liberian people elected me to unite the country. I was not able to get some of the other factional leaders to return to Liberia. I was not able to get one or two of the political leaders to return. And I think they helped to provoke the situation. I was able to do a whole lot. Strangely, the LPC, these were all warring factions, and all of the other warring factions, I was able to bring them into government. In fact, most of the combatants that fought for the government during the war were the combatants of the warring factions that fought against me. So I accomplished bringing them together. I accomplished making sure that the issue of tribalism went away in Liberia. But I mean, to a great extent, I think most Liberians now, if you went to Liberia and took a poll, they would say Mr. Taylor did his best.
Any other regrets?
The second regret is that I was able to get the United States to understand me. I was never able to get them to work with me, which is so essential for Liberia. No president of Liberia, no president can make it successfully unless he is on. Now, I'm not the type of guy that you can pick up a telephone and command. I don't take that. I didn't take that from Washington. Then, even if I were elected president, I would not take it. I'm not that kind. I'm not a coward. But I do believe that a good working relationship is essential for any president of Liberia or that president.
Sense of gratitude and humility. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve as your president and commander-in-chief for the past 6 years. Together in 2018, we embarked on a journey to build a united, peaceful, and prosperous Liberia. And I am deeply thankful for the trust and support bestowed upon me and my administration during my tenure. As we navigate the complexity of governance, your partnership was instrumental in the development and implementation of policies and programs that aim to bring progress and development to our great nation. Reflecting on the accomplishment of these 6 years, let me tell you that I am proud of what we have achieved together. Rose supported free wires and free tuition at high schools and public universities, stabilized the macroeconomic challenges we face in 2018, built hundreds of pro-poor housing units, and achieved on so many fronts that we are able to list here today. However, I acknowledge that there is always room for improvement, and perhaps more could have been done under different circumstances. Regrettably, some of the long-term projects we initiated did not reach completion during my tenure. I am hopeful that the incoming administration will carry the torch forward and bring these initiatives to fruition for the benefit of all Liberians. Fellow compatriots, rumors, and misinformation have played a large part in our politics over the last 6 years. It is my hope we as a country will overcome this challenge over the next 6 years. To begin this, we must start with the facts of the transition. I must report to you that we are leaving behind a better economy than we inherited. Today, President-elect Joseph Nima Bouaka will inherit a stronger economy than I inherited. There is a bigger net international reserve position than was handed me in 2018. I inherited 94,999,000 United States dollars in net international reserves, and I am handing over to the next administration a net international reserve position of $222,700,000 United States dollars. This is 136% increase in the net international reserve position. The total cash balance in the government's consolidated account is United States $40,044,365.90. In 2018, my government inherited a consolidated cash position of $7 million United States dollars. The next administration thus has more resources to deal with emergency economic challenges than my administration had at its disposal in 2018. My fellow citizens, through our time together, I held still fast to two cornerstones of leadership: keeping the peace and upholding the democratic process and the root of our democratic journey. I am immensely proud that during my tenure, Liberia remained at peace with itself and at peace with its neighbor. Our armed forces, the force of good, were never turned against our own people, and external actions were confined to international peacekeeping mission under the United Nations. This peace, sustained by our own domestic resources, is a testament to the maturity and strength of our nation. We protected the inalienable rights of every Liberian citizen as enshrined in our Constitution. Freedom of speech, assembly, and expression were not only preserved, but celebrated. There were no political prisoners or prisoners of conscience during my entire term, a testament to the development of strong democratic institutions that are now not only hailed as competent and professional, but as trusted and credible. Liberia is now regarded law of democracy in West Africa and a shining example to the world. This was only made possible through our various collaborative efforts. I want to thank all Liberians, regardless of your political affiliation, for staying the course and helping build a stronger and more vibrant nation. As I step aside as President of Liberia, I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change, the CDC, in order to ensure the continuation of our strong and vibrant democracy. I therefore urge you, my fellow citizens, to continue to be law-abiding and seek peaceful means to resolve differences. Embrace tolerance and dialogue. Let us love and come together as one people, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us remember the strength of our unity, the resilience of our democracy, and the hope that lies in the future of Liberia. As we welcome a new era, let us move forward hands in hand with a shared commitment to building a united nation that will continue to strive on observing the tenets of democracy and adhering to the rule of law. May God bless you all, and may God continue to bless the Republic of Liberia.
Those who wrote the speech, in inauguration day, everybody happy. We are rejoicing over the defeat of the old regime. We are rejoicing about our effort to bring a new regime. Then we'll sit down with happiness. We go write paper for that 79-year-old man. He's struggling to read. Then you go there, I will tell you that nation, I will tell you US, I will bring 1 for you. Because you think 1 for you, Johnson. By the time the old man was reading, when you got to that place, that's it. Because in this country,
when you elect a clown and you think that he will be a king, what he does is to convert the kingdom into a circus. This is what we must deal with, and this is what we must say. Who do we elect into our public offices? Because, as I've said before, when you allow hyenas to take care of goats, why should you be surprised when the goats are eaten? This is the same. And Africa is only going to realize our potential in all areas when, by dint of choice, we enable and allow our best men and women to serve in different areas. I've heard it being said about Lee Kuan Yew in Singapore. I've heard it being suggested about Mahathir Mohamad in Malaysia. I've heard it being said said about Japan. I've heard it being said about other countries. But there was a conscious decision on the part of those individuals and the followership. We always talk about leaders, but we never talk about the followers. The followers must also style up. Africans on average are for some reason attracted to thieves. Africans are for some reason attracted to men and women who cannot serve her. And when they are not served, then they complain. When Africans are told, choose you now whom we shall release, Jesus of Nazareth or Barabbas, they say, release Barabbas. And when Barabbas behaves like Barabbas, they say, why are you not behaving like Christ? It cannot be done.
In May, signed a second of two executive orders. D310, in which illicit trade in diamonds and its other forms of support for the Irish policy objectives in the region, as well as the rule-based international order that is critical to the peace and prosperity of the United States. Contribute to the unusual and extraordinary threat to the foreign policy of the United States described in Executive Order 13194. This executive order did not say conspiracy was born, all systems put into motion, and here I stand today. I never stood. This is the broader contextual matrix that regrettably did not and still has not seen the light of day in these proceedings, despite the gallant efforts by the defense to unearth and reveal the contextual orders. The dogs were let out, so to speak. Watford was a dispatch of the attack pack led by Lieutenant Colonel David Crane, Defense Intelligence, 30 years, prosecutor. He, Crane, unlawfully unsealed the court's sealed indictment to his handlers, senior U.S. government officials at the U.S. Embassy in Freetown, and was never held to account. The rest of the operational team are Colonel Brendan Hollis, Defense Intelligence, CIA, U.S. Air Force, Senior Trial Counsel and now prosecutor. James C. Johnson, U.S. Army expert, 20 years on conventional and special operations, Chief of Prosecutions for the SCSL. Alan White, 30 years, Defense Intelligence, recalled from retirement to head up investigations at the Special Court of Sierra Leone. Stephen J. Rapp came on board as Chief Prosecutor for a short time of experience from Capitol Hill, where he served with the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee sometime before. It came as no surprise to me that as a reward of sorts for Stephen Rapp's diligence in the execution of U.S. foreign policy objectives through these ad hoc tribunals, he was appointed U.S. Ambassador at Large for War Crimes issues. In support of the contextual framework of politics, on February 8, 2006, Lieutenant Colonel David Crane, prosecutor, appeared before a U.S. Congress Subcommittee on Africa, Defense Exhibit D404, and spelled out in clear terms the decision taken in support of regime change in Liberia and what needed to happen to solidify that process. There was little mention, if any, in his testimony about Sierra Leone. And here is what he said. I posit that 5 years from now, when the international community is challenged by other crises, Taylor in Calabar, under the protection of Nigeria, will make his move. We will wake up one morning and watch on CNN as Taylor rides triumphantly down the main street in Monrovia to the executive mansion, daring all of us to come and get him. Unless he is handed over to the Special Court for Sierra Leone, this scenario is not out of the realm of possibilities. He then asked, how do we assure Liberia's future? And he answers that. Ultimately, he says, what we do about Taylor in the next several weeks will determine the fate of Liberia and the new administration of its president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Crane then sets out several plans, two of which I'll state here. He said, first, hand Charles Taylor over to the Special Court for Sierra Leone for a fair trial, his kind of trial. This takes him out of the local and regional dynamics to good governance in Liberia. Time does not permit, but the exhibits are present. Not even the Nigerian nation was spared from threats and intimidation, as explained by Femi Kayode, press secretary to President Obasanjo, the Nigerian head of state, who was with him in Washington when President George W. Bush promised, and I quote, to bring Nigeria to its knees if Taylor was not turned over to the special court. And what happened? Obasanjo buckled and capitulated. Now, this demonstrates the significant pressure that was brought to bear on President Obasanjo, irrespective of his personal and leadership obligations to the West African sub-region. And therein lies the dilemma for current African heads of state and government, but how to enter into binding commitments and obligations with the African pairs and remain steadfast, resolute, and unyielding in their fidelity to those agreements in the face of such unrelenting and punishing pressure from powerful.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know y'all sleeping now. Y'all gotta wake up small, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they can lie. I said we tired with their lies, we tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed and now you need.
Oh yes, and it's good to be reminded. Reminded that coming together is a beginning, just a beginning. But keeping together is progress. Not just that, but working together is success.
You screw us, you use us, and later on abuse us. So,
oh yes, that's good. You guys have been you guys have been together for long. I see why you guys understand each other. I see why there is less tension or less pressure or disagreement or division amongst you guys, because you all have been together for long. That's the beginning of progress. That is an assurance if that progress is being made. And so Edward Hadid says coming together is the beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Liberians, let me say a very, very pleasant good evening to all of you across the country. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to those of you in the diaspora. Our friends, our fans, our followers, our critics, and even those of you who do not like the things we say and the way we say them. It's good to have all of you joining us tonight on the Wednesday's edition of the show. This is Freedom Hard Talk. This is Freedom FM 87.9. We are broadcasting live to you from the Republic of Liberia, particularly in the nation's capital, Monrovia. And in case you're looking for us, we are right here on Kerry Street. A lot to talk about tonight. Yesterday, we promised you that we were going to allot everything today, all of our time, to His Excellency, the President, the former President of the Republic of Liberia, George Weah. But again, we did a lot last night, and there are many issues that we have to talk about today. A lot of things happen in the country today. We can't just ignore all of them. Even the president will not allow us to do that. He wants us to keep informing you. In the midst of his birthday, in the face of the masses that turn out today to wish him happy birthday, he still wants the masses to get informed and educated about the issues that are confronting our country. And so we'll do it 50-50 tonight.
You screw us, you use us and little.
We use 45 minutes first half, 45 minutes second half.
Why? But
And then the rest of the minutes will be left long for you to place in your calls and have a conversation and have your say on the issues we're going to talk about tonight. Don't forget, today the former president of Liberia turns 59 years old. Also, the president of Liberia, Joe Parker, returned to the country yesterday, but there's something we want to talk about briefly.
no one to trust.
So, the taxi driver involved in the alleged killing of the policeman was taken to court today.
Where are the drugs that they said?
He was investigated, charged, and indicted.
People tired with their rhetoric. People tired.
His lawyer has spoken for the first time on the case,
They have enough of time, but yeah, they instead they delay. People suffer.
and we're going to play you what his lawyer thinks about the case,
And your mission
and then we'll come back.
is poor.
Say the geese are begging you. I just knew one of you were going to talk about my muscles tonight. So we're going to play you the recording of Anthony Jeremiah Dugbe. He is the lawyer representing the defendant in the case involving the police officer who is deceased now, and the taxi driver who is alleged to have committed the murder.
The people lie to us. The government betray us. They get lies, they get steal, they go knock the corrupt.
This is going to be our major conversation today, even though there are other issues we'll talk about as part of our in-house, like the IMF. We're hearing news that IMF has extended Liberia's credit facility, and I see our Unity Party folks are trying to run around with it and all of that, as if to say it is progress.
Let us
We need to let you know that, hey, IMF extending Liberia's credit facility is no progress. From the economic standpoint, from the fiscal governance standpoint,
with us. I'm from
it's no progress. It's additional burden on the country as a country, additional burden.
you.
So we'll talk small thing about that and place emphasis on the case involving the police officer. There are two pieces written by two student lawyers that we're also going to feature on the show tonight.
You lie. Why?
It is being reported that okay, I'll keep that other one. I'll save that one. I will save that one for tomorrow. But folks, that's the size and shape of the show tonight. Welcome to the show, all of you. This show is proudly sponsored by Crime Stopper Liberia of Ome Sam Sayo.
People to us. You lie. Why can't you steal?
And we are in partnership with Win Liberia. Win Liberia is our financial partner.
That's why we both tell you.
Together, we are bringing Freedom Hard Talk live to you every day and always. With the hard issues, talking the hard issues, running the hard analysis.
You lie.
A very shortly, we'll take a break from our sponsor and our partner. When we come back, we go to our Facebook live feed to welcome all of you who are joining us tonight on the show. Stick and stay, don't go away. The best on radio at about this time in the Republic of Liberia. It's on its way to your ears through your speakers.
My brother, God can bless anybody.
Win big today with Win Liberia on Freedom FM. Yes, for just $100 Liberian dollars or 50 cent United States dollars, you can win from 4,000 Liberian dollars up to 10,000 Liberian dollars, and for $200 Liberian dollars or $1 United States dollar on Japa days, you can win from 15,000 Liberian dollars, 50,000 Liberian dollars. For these amazing prizes, dial *255*1#. Again, dial *255*1#. The more you play, the better your chances. It's Win Liberia cash giveaway on Freedom FM.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence.
from the Unity Conference Center. Unity, let me get that correctly. From the Abraham Kumar is following the show tonight from his Iron Factory community. Sata Dawson is joining the show tonight as well. Clady Addison from the USA. Sata Miller, welcome to the show from Soul Clinic MB is joining the show tonight from New Georgia State. Honorable J.D. Williams is joining the show tonight. She said, today I celebrate my boss, President Weir. President George Weir, as you clock into another chapter. I wish you long life, good health, favors. Happy birthday, my black president. Nathan Jebadia. Nathan Jebadia. Hope I got your name correctly, from Sano County. Benjamin Arthur is joining the show tonight as well. They are wishing President Weir happy birthday. Verma McIntosh Clark is joining the show tonight from Norway. And John Saki Kone from Atlantic City in the US. That's New Jersey, I think. Phoenicius Junior Bai is following the show from the borough of New Gutan as well. Henry To is following tonight from Caldwell. Christian Davis is joining from Plebo City, Maryland County. Samuel Kofi Woods Jr. says happy birthday, Mr. Weir. Paul S. Jasper has joined the show tonight. He said he's watching live from his Silver Spring, Maryland, USA. The LTA has joined the show as well. K, who is Vanja Cody, Princess Alexa on my line. Don't put who there is speaking to me. Don't put who there. Don't put who there. Don't say I don't tell you. Don't put who there. Tell you who. Edit your comment. Tell you who from there. Josh Watkins Jr. Welcome to the show. City Geeks, welcome to the show. He's a Robbie. Yeah, happy birthday, Robbie Master. Kia is to you. We bless you and give long life. Then go, yeah. Hey, brother. Hey, brother, go. Hey, leave that in your post. Yeah, from the call you me of the why you are there for. Austin, Kawa, hello. Now, any. You can't name behind. There's Nippoleon fighter Julius Malema has been found guilty by a court in South Africa over charges of possession of firearms and all that kind of thing. So, but anyway, all part of the political process to be opposition. So they say this is okay. I'm reading from SABC News. They say breaking news: the EFF leader Julius Malema has been found guilty, while his co-accused and former bodyguard Adrian Salmon has been found not guilty. So Malema was facing a charge of discharging a firearm during party's 5th anniversary celebration in 2018. Salmon was facing charges of unlawful possession of a firearm and ammunition. This is what SABC is reporting. You know, SABC is the South African Broadcasting Corporation. Folks, do you know that our president Joe Barker spent over 21 days, about 21 days in the US? Because Marvin was talking about it. So yes, our cash giveaway is active. It's on the cash giveaway. You can play. The promo is on here. The short code to die is *255 *1# to play our cash giveaway. So all you have to do, our back to school promotion is on, and we are giving out $5,000 up to $25,000 and $100,000. So all you have to do, just make sure you have 100 Liberian dollars on your Lone Star mobile money account, or its equivalent in US would be 50 cents in US dollars. 50 cents, 50 cents. 100 Liberian dollars LD and 50 cents USD to play the cash giveaway. When you have that in your phone, you have *1# to play. When you dial that code, you send on your phone, and when you send, you see two options will appear on the phone. Option number one will be asking you whether you want to play in Liberian dollars, and option number two will be asking you whether you want to play in US dollars. So whichever option you select, whether it's option one or option two, you will send, and then you enter your mobile money password, and then it's a bingo for you to play to play a cash giveaway. I'll congratulate you or transfer your money to calling you, but the phone as a, in case you are a winner or should not. So it's $5,000 up to, you know, it is hundreds of $100,000 for giving one person $100,000 tonight. we're having internet issues, so that's why you see we keep getting interrupted. We apologize. So the president should be announcing some drastic decisions or actions through executive. But the president is not doing so. The president is spending more money on foreign travel. He's bringing nothing back to the country, and he's saying nothing to the country, and he's doing nothing domestically to mobilize resources to expand our domestic revenue capacity. And there are practical steps that the government can take to do that. But the government lacks the political with that. And we're not going to say that and start teaching these people or telling these people or reminding them what to do on the fiscal side of the country. We'll not do that. The team at LRA has the technical capacity, or is supposed to have the technical capacity to mobilize domestic revenue, increase it. Because the president has said already we are raising our budget to 1 billion at least in 2026. Today, October 1 today begins the last quarter of this budget year. I mean, by now all spending entities are supposed to start preparing their budgets for submission and all of that to the formulating their budgets. But now with the LRA has not even announced anything, any change, any upgrade, any update for us about their domestic revenue mobilization strategy. We don't know whether they have developed a new domestic revenue mobilization strategy for the country that will see us increasing revenue. We don't know anything. Nothing we know. They're not saying anything. But they are celebrating Liberia. The IMF extending Liberia's to credit facility. And I don't want United Party people and CDC people to buy into that crap. It's a disaster. It poses a significant threat to us as a country. Look, if we keep increasing our international debts, it's going to hinder us as a country. It's going to deny us access to a lot of things. You see, Ghana necessarily then talking about $200 million grant and financing agreement to finance electricity projects, to finance road projects. You know why Liberia cannot get qualified? It will never get qualified because our debt portfolio is high. It means all those investors who may want to come here to invest will say, no, but we didn't get capacity to pay. They don't have capacity, man. We can give that our money free. That country poor didn't get money. A country with over 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 billion debt, foreign debt. No, and they're still seeking more money. It means they're not taking any concrete step domestically to reduce their credit facility or to close their credit facility with the IMF and all of that. They are still begging for IMF to keep expanding, opening up our credit facility, and we are celebrating. A colleague, you see, at times I wonder whether some of these people think everybody is just not reading, everybody is stupid. And, you know, the president, the executive mansion posted today under the caption, President Bouaka accepts resignation of associate magistrate. Executive Mansion, moreover, President Joseph Yuma Bouaka Sr. has formally accepted the resignation of Associate Magistrate Designate Wellington Gbese. William Gbese of the Painesville. I'm sure they have edited this release. If they are not edited this release, to the arrogance that is deeply seated in the executive mansion. It speaks to the heart the strength of the arrogance is seated in the executive mansion. Mr. Gbese, in a communication address to the president, expressed gratitude for the preferment but tendered his resignation in order to continue his legal studies at the Lewis Arthur Graham School of Law. Everything we're telling you. The main person who is supposed to be resigning is not William Gbese. It should be his father, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. The Chief Justice is the most illiterate man in this whole debacle. His son has seen reason to say, you know, I mean, the thing they're talking are true, but let me frame it in a way that will appear that I want to focus on my law school. If he wanted to focus on his law school, he didn't know he was in law school. It had to require us to checkmate the president and checkmate the Chief Justice consistently. That have pushed them to, I mean, you gotta rescind, I mean, reject the nomination. So what this young man has done, he has rejected Joe Baka nomination. They have told him to reject the nomination. Then they say the man has resigned. The man did not serve. How can somebody resign from a position they didn't occupy? Then they release on executive mansion, say the man has resigned. He has submitted his letter of resignation. Then their own release said the man was magistrate designate. Somebody who is designated for a job cannot resign a job because they have not been confirmed or affirmed in the job, in the position. So I don't know who wrote this release. You are telling us, I mean, these are just a small distraction I don't even like to go into. But the reason why some of us at times we are pushed to go into these smaller petty arguments is because these guys will always project themselves to be highly, heavily educated in a way free from error or making mistakes. Comprehension, ability, or capacity is too high. That's what they project. That e-marshal writing here, nobody make the e-marshal writing. They caption it that President Baka accepts the Kate resignation. It means Baka did not withdraw the nomination. He didn't withdraw the nomination. Everything we say, the president still did not withdraw the nomination. Because the Chief Justice has said he has nothing. He has no problem with it. There's nothing wrong with it. We thought the president the e-marshal should be publishing that President Baka has withdrawn the nomination of William Gbese. Certain public concerns about his qualification to the position or his suitability to the position. The man is not suitable for qualify for the job per their own standards. On the basis of that's the moral high ground that Baka does not have to stand on. Baka had moral, he will be withdrawing the nomination of William Gbese on the grounds that he does not meet the minimum requirement of an associate magistrate. That's morality. Even the president cannot muster the moral high ground to fake political decisions. They have to call the HR and say he should resign. But he did not even serve the position. He didn't serve the position. So how is he resigning? How is he resigning? But again, that's it. At the end of the day, history has recorded us positively. History has recorded us with smiles. That our advocacy and our messages are resonating with the public. To the extent that the public is joining us to discuss every meaningful and significant topic we have in the studio, the public, the audience, public So everywhere Bwaka and his official pass, they will hear it. Public pressure. That's what you see, the power of the radio. Of the radio. The of the voice. These guys, the voices are powerful. You talk show hosts, you guys' voices are powerful. They can make you and they can break you. This is the power of the voice. That's why we are taught to use it wisely and strategically. And if we use our voices here to advocate against bad governance and bad choices coming from the executive mansion, so be it. We're proud of that. Wayne Young is a smart guy. I didn't know he was a professor, but I interacted with him on two different occasions. I didn't know him. He didn't know me. I'm sure he did not know me. He's a smart young guy. He still has age in his favor. The courts are not running away. We should all encourage him to pursue his legal studies. Flying colors. And there will be jobs waiting for him to serve, to work. This is his country. I don't have one issue with Wayne Young Gbese. My issue is with his father. My issue is with his father. And if Wayne Young Gbese tomorrow graduates from law school and decides to appoint his son or his daughter or recommend his son and daughter for a job, I will also have problem with him. And if Osikawa does that tomorrow, Wayne Young Gbese should have issue with me. Because I can say that today and say it is wrong for Yamin Gbese to appoint his son or recommend his son for appointment in government in the very branch that he is the head of. And then tomorrow, Osikawa Jr. in government. No. Then I come to the public and say, yes, my son is a Liberian. He is qualified. So, yes, I recommended Austin Kawa Jr. to President Oliver Kahn or to President, we are not be President Austin reach 18. So, there to President Oliver Kahn or President Alexa Vanakodi to be appointed. Then, after 15, 20 years, maybe there will be somebody there to remind me. But Austin, I told you on radio, you kick against this thing. How come it was bad yesterday and it is good today? Morality. Public actors, media people, especially those of us behind the microphones, our voices you have in speak. People are supposed to respect what comes out of our mouth. When we say things, we lie on the things we say. Yes, but you can speak about something and then you do the other way around. Even when George Weah becomes to a point, the government will have issue with it. And I'm saying this because I know he will never do it. Because people see the coffee branch on he issued direct instruction to terminate every contract that his brothers were giving at the NPA. This is leaders are supposed to take decisive political actions or in public service. It may not be 100% perfect, but you have to take some actions that will convince the public that this man, even though they may not go. But when it comes to this, you will not allow it. Don't go there with him. Good examples. So yeah, Wayne Young, according to the executive mansion, they said he resigned, and Bwaka has accepted his resignation. I don't know where he served. That's it. We'll not allow these people mistakes to just pass us by. We have to flag everything. So, folks, let me play you something important. These audio recordings. Yes, I know I was talking about the IMF thing. Well, we're waiting for the official statement from the government. And also we need the terms and conditions enshrined in the portfolio that Liberia has been awarded. As you speak, the communication man in the office of the Minister of Finance has not said anything. No detail, no information. He just said, Gosimpe Kafan now working you. IMF approves second ECF. Because he knows what ECF is, and he forgets to know that he's posting or commenting in the public space to people, and he wants people to understand what ECF is. So part of our work is to break it down for our audiences. So now I was talking about the extended credit facility. That's what he meant. So he Facebook post, and I got a call from my friends in government. Oh, my man, government. I said, hey, my man, don't bring government Benin to me. Don't bring government Benin to me. There's a reason why I say don't bring. And you know, every time I'm talking, I can always tell you, amongst all the people in government is number one on my list of people that I still think have small kini integrity. Because you see, when you start living in deception, when your deception is becoming glaring to the public, then it's an issue. It's an issue. So, oh man, government. So why about this one guy? Oh, like he's untouchable. Nobody is supposed to criticize him because you know him. No. Yes, I know he lives in Broville. So I live in Broville. I shouldn't criticize or critique his decision or his actions. That's not going to work with some of us. The day ever in your life you go in the government, 6 years go and sit in the government house, you're chopping with rack. The day you ever see me in the government office, chopping with rack. You have joined me and put me outside. Most of the people, what irritates me is most of these people who will try calling you and sending you a message, oh man, Gavin doing rack nothing for them. He's not doing anything for them. He's not doing anything for them. He's not doing anything for the country. They're just obsessed with this name Gav. Gav does not even believe in himself that he can bring fiscal change, fiscal reform that will elevate growth, efficiency, effectiveness, fiscal governance. He doesn't have that confidence in himself. And y'all won't be heralding him and elevating him and projecting him. The one economic demand guy in our country. And here, chasing, licking the behinds of the IMF to extend Liberia's credit facility. It's shown that they criticized consistently from 2020. I remember in 2019, the World Bank and the IMF said they were pulling out. Yes, I still remember that. And when Liberia decided to negotiate with the World Bank and the IMF in 2019, when things were difficult, because the country, we just inherited the country from those same UP guys, things were difficult, IMF and the World Bank said, these same guys were saying Liberia does not need the IMF and the to I say he's economic czar, he days, he died, he should come here, mobilize resources domestically. He should institute fiscal reform. How we expand revenue, domestic revenue, increase domestic revenue, and reduce our foreign debts. Today, they're running behind the same IMF and the same World Bank. 2019 was the second year in CDC government. 2024 is the second year in UP government. Why are they running? Why are they? Well, it was wrong in 2019 for the CDC government to with the very IMF. It was wrong then. I still remember some good friends who are now two of them are in this government. They wrote a number of pieces on social media recommending to the government to close our facility with the IMF. That it was not necessary. Liberia didn't need it. Liberia should focus on direct her attention to domestic revenue mobilization. That's what they said. That's what they suggested then. And we told you, when these people who are telling you today, CDC in 2019, do not work, forget about IMF. If they want to leave, let them leave. When they come back to power, the first place they will run will be at the IMF and the World Bank. We said that to you. Back to back, every fiscal, every quarter of the implement IMF. The first year, second year, they're chasing IMF to exit facility. And they go to the public to celebrate that as an achievement. And I said, you see, name one country in the sub-region that is celebrating that for the last 5 years that has ran to the IMF to extend her credit facility. I know that Ghana pulled out. So countries are taking measures to reduce foreign debts and mobilize resources domestically and put more money who are contributing to the economy, to creating jobs, and they are feeding their nations. Liberia, we are doing nothing to put money in the pockets of farmers to motivate them, encourage them to upgrade their skills and their capacity to increase production. Other countries around us are increasing local production, food production. I mean, just nothing we are doing. Just nothing. Practically doing nothing. And we go to IMF to beg them to extend our credit facility. Then IMF puts us into a category A, B, and C. That you enjoy maybe flexible. They call it flexible credit rate, interest rate. When you see what they call flexible interest rate, you won't cry. You won't put your hand on your head. Imagine you go IMF give you, let's say it's $60 million. And you have to pay 5% of that. You have to pay that money interest, 5% interest. You do the math. We've never lived up to our commitment. So if this year we don't increases, the next year we do not live up, it increases. The following year we don't live up, it increases. So at times they will tell you, okay, I will give you $60 million. That they start paying after 5 years. So it's because no one need money there for developing countries, the Liberia, not even developing, poor countries, the Liberia, struggling for reform, economic reform, stability. That's what the money for. I hear my other man commenting on my post talking about, well, it's bad. If it's bad for Liberia to credit, then why the US, why America can credit? America in IMF program. You are chasing the IMF to be enrolled into the program for them to extend your credit facility in a category that puts you in the least category of countries. About America crediting money and Liberia in the same league. They're not in the same league. The money that Liberia is chasing in the IMF pool, that money for stability to stabilize our economy and enhance growth. That year in, year out in there. Anything to a year the same thing. Joe Akin says the same thing. Bagaya says the same thing. We've been stabilizing our economy through IMF money. With the intention that we will stabilize the economy and then enhance growth, economic growth. From 2006, we've been stabilizing economy, enhancing economic growth. We are still amongst the poorest countries in the world. We are still producing nothing that we eat in this country. We are still not producing our own electricity. We are still not producing our own clothes. We are still not producing our own slippers to wear. We are still not producing our own everything that we consume in this country. We're not producing. So what kind of country are we? Why are we still borrowing? Why are we still borrowing, especially so running to the same IMF that we've been taking all the monies from year in, year out, year in, year out? No economic growth, no economic stability, nothing. Nothing is stable in the country. You don't have any basic social service in this country that the government is providing that is stable. But you say put money here through water and sewer. Yes. People more addicted to over water and sewer. Where is water and sewer today? Capacity is still on a run. You say put money in the health sector, in the gender sector. Where is the Ministry of Gender? Where is our what is our portfolio on child labor? What is the Ministry of Labor doing? What growth? I mean, significant growth can we just point to say this is the last time, Martin. We stopped being cool for the first time. I criticized him, I disagree with him on all of that. I was cool with it. Because you're talking too much, anymore, and I'm like, hey, my man, shut up. So just reply, he blocked me. I was cool. It did not take anything from me, right? But I saw a post one time, only verify and all of that. If I could, the only person to verify was him. But I saw it, whether it was him or somebody used a account to post it. He said, "Let's not achieve anything." He used the word achieve. But it was something around it like Liberia has not solved any problem. Liberia has not solved any problem in this country. And everybody had issue with him. They were beating on him and all of that. I'm like, and who be sedition that supports George that this country has not. And I'm sure I want to believe that he spoke in context because he to solve problems. No problem has been solved. In me, you not build really. Build what? How you build it? What are the features on the road you build that will not need to go back tomorrow to go start digging again? We have not solved any problem, and that's a fact. And nobody in this country, not even Gafon, can argue that Liberia has not been. Check over. When George Weah started solving the road problem from ELWA to Robertsfield Highway to Roberts International Airport, these same people started cussing us yesterday, including very mountain men saying George Weah was spoiling the road. But that was a problem that he was trying to solve. The road problem from RIA, from the Roberts International Airport to the capital city was appalling. That is our only airport. And the main road that leading from the airport to the capital city is so a death trap. We are saying, what I mean? We just solve the problem and put it behind us. That put a three-lane road here and put Peter Father with street lights and decent sidewalks and solve the other problem and put it behind us. We are started what happened? They started politicizing it because they knew that was a legacy project that was going to be solved permanently in our era. So he did a lot of feeder roles, and then he started doing the RIA to solve problem in our era. Did the ELW roundabout, shoot into red line, and then to the completion of the Somalia Drive. So you see the problems that we are solving, right? The road problems. They started politicizing it. What happened? 20,000 him be say we believe what the UP people talking. We're not voting, we are buying power. Did we solve that problem? No, we didn't solve the problem. We have launched the bridge to bridge project that would have started from the bridge in Morovia and taking us Simple Bridge, expand our road Tilly, I mean 6 lane, sorry, I mean Tiliso. 6 lane road, RIA, 6 lane road from bridge to bridge. Those are our 2 major routes that lead us outside our country. So he was solving those 2 problems. You got the border, so as soon as you cross the border, see the road from the border straight into Freetown. Pave. So we are saying, let's solve this problem, the road problem. Our 2 international routes are appalled in their indeployable conditions. Let's fix them. All the monies they secure for those projects today, the very government who said we are spotting the road, we are in Natana Magi the money for the road, all the road they not complete, they're the road that they are completing. They didn't take money from anywhere completing the road, the RI road. The very road project, bridge to bridge, they criticize that we're not going to do the bridge to bridge and all of that. Yes, the bridge to bridge project that now they are continuing. The Somalia Drive road that we are completed, and the Japan freeway. They say, oh, now we are project. We are saying no problem. We are going to the project and praise Eddie and thank President Serif for starting that project. So Eddie was solving that problem of that Somalia Drive road. So we are saying, no, I mean, let's take the road from ELW, carry straight into rail there. Send it already came from rail there and doing the Somalia Drive. I will take it from here and carry rail there, stop it there. No, shoot it into Banga. And take it straight to Kanta Nima County, where anything. So those leaders were solving some problems, but they didn't solve because they didn't them. So we have not solved the road problem yet in our country. Road problem in this country has not been solved. Water problem has not been solved. Electricity. We have 3 countries that have electricity after years. Credit to Eddie Johnson Sirleaf, who restored electricity and expired George Rihanna, 4 country, if I'm not 4, because he did rubber sport. He did part of Bombing County, not Tottenham Bread, but Bombing County. I don't know whether it has reached Tottenham Bread because I know it reached Clay. So you had a substation for Cranky Man County in TNE. You had a substation for Bombing County in Clay. So currently, all the places had electricity. And then electricity expanded into District 17, that's the Broadview area for Virginia and all of that. Electricity expanded there under George Weah. Then he went to the Southeast. Yesterday, I told somebody, I said, do you know that George Weah started building 2 hydropower plants in this country? They argue. Fortunately for me, a guy who works with LDC was in the gallery. He said, you know that's true. He said, in fact, the project in the Southeast River G County is nearing 92% completion. He said, in fact, we have already started this. We have already dispatched a team of technicians there to start doing distribution. We have built a power plant to supply electricity in the Southeast in River G County. If you open the telephone line, people who live in River G will call here and confirm what I'm telling you. In Lofa, Joseph Baka Lofa, another hydro power plant is being built there by George Weah. He started that project. It is in Lofa. Joseph Baka, they will never talk about it. But I don't blame them. We are the ones supposed to talk about what we have achieved. And I'm saying this things on there. I'm saying these things on there because it's George Weah's birthday. So we are remembering his legacy. When people sit down and say George Weah did not do anything, and as I'm about to open the telephone lines, those of you from every part of the country who will be calling tonight, this is a perfect moment to remember Mr. Weah's legacy. If you are in Broadview, Sastan, Bogongide, Jedebo, whatsoever you coming from, just call, tell us, what do you know that George Weah did in your community? Okay, somebody say including 3 extra high schools in G County. 3 extra high schools in River G County. George Weah did a lot in this country. I am aware. I know them. You soon hear them talking about the solar farm that is supposed to electrify the Rabas International Airport. That is a project that was initiated under the Rural Renewable Energy by George Weah to build a solar farm at the Rabas International Airport that will supply 24/7 electricity. He did his part. He played his part in the midst of the challenges, the insult, the disrespect, the criticism, the everything. He stood his ground. COVID-19 came. All those distractions were caused. He stood his ground. He did a lot of country. Today, you see all these small water chaos around the country, even though more needs to be done. But yes, he was taking water to the slum communities. Those in Clarendon, West Point, St. Paul Bridge, they will tell you, you see LEC water chaos, or they call it sub stations, are all there. It was George Weah that took the BB pipes. Like, only way you understand the pipes, the water line, straight into Virginia. The other day, were asking more. I said, what happened to the water line in Virginia? Why we don't have water? They say, I think you're doing some evaluation or stuff, assessment. It was a World Bank project that restricted it. So the World Bank project ended to Iron Gate because I know that the pipe reached to Iron Gate, right? Iron Gate. It did not run into Broadview. So we need to go back and start a new negotiation with the World Bank and see the possibility of expanding the project. I was there, even the Iron Gate, I got the pipe, but because it's just a main line. When the main line is there, the water has to run into the communities. But all these things were done, all these initiatives were started by George Weah to faking pipe-borne water to the slum communities. They said, we're not giving chance. We are not giving him chance. We will fight him. We will distract him. We will insult him. We want to keep insulting and fighting and issuing threats in the country. We will fight to destabilize the country and put his people against him. Because if we sit here and allow this man to do all these things in this country, it's going to be a disaster for us. We, the elite politicians, will not be allowed to return to power, to continue stealing our country's resources. So let's fight. That's why when Joe Biden said, even if it causes him to dance with the devil, he was prepared to dance with the devil just to ensure that Weah does not come back to the presidency, that will afford Joe Biden, who had told you living on loan. And I would have thought that for a man at the age of 79-year-old to come to the country publicly and say to you, hey, I worked for over 42 years in government. I born all my children at the behest of government. I achieved everything at the expense of government. I still don't have anything. I didn't save anything. I am broke. I am poor. I am deranged, and I'm living on loan. We still elected the man who was living on loan. But guess what? The man who was providing him the loan, what Baka said we should go? What kind of bank? He said, go to Abbey Bank. Eh? Let me play it for you. I live on loan. Go to Abbey Bank. Oh, you got? Yeah, I found that information. Send it to me. I won't play. He said, go to Abbey Bank. I live on loan. You know why he said go to Abbey Bank? Because the current central bank governor was the president for Abbey. The current central bank governor was the president for Abbey Bank. So he said we should go to Abbey. It means this current central bank governor was working in a private bank, and this man said he didn't have anything, not even a collateral to the bank. This man was taking the people money and giving it to Joe Biden and feeding him. That's why you see Biden appointed him as central bank. It was a payback. The payback. But guess what? They say we should celebrate him because he is president. Only because he's president. I'm not going to celebrate with an inept character who is extremely arrogant and running the country in an appalling form and manner. And you want us to celebrate such a terrible character, a character that has divided the country on blue and green lines, a character that has caused our country today that even UP people want to identify with CDC people. How many UP folks you saw today posting happy birthday to George Weah? Not that they don't want to do it, but they are afraid. The president of the country did not call to say happy birthday. They did not post to say happy birthday. You expect the official appointed by the president to go post happy birthday so the person can lose their job? You don't expect that. You don't expect it. But they